Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I had a gig in Irvine with Keyboard Taiko. This time I tried to plan out a little bit more what I could teach the group, because sometimes I have a fear of running out of things to teach, especially like I talked about last time when it's like not a group that I see every week. So sometimes it's kind of hard to figure out how to go beyond the obvious problems that are happening. Because when I used to teach drumline, I was there a few times a week. So I really knew like the ins and outs of how the students were progressing. You know, since I was in charge of the group, I had goals for the group. So it's definitely a lot different than teaching drumline when I come in to teach, every once in a while. Sometime during the week, I had thought about going back to like the real basics, like strikes. And this group practices with towels on their drums. So it's a very dead sound. It doesn't really sound like a taiko. You can still hear when someone isn't like fully committed to the hit. I think it's something that people who aren't drummers aren't going to be able to put their finger on, but they'll know that like someone's sound doesn't sound as good as another person's. So this time I tried to work on strikes and more so on getting a bigger sound out of the drum. And I think just after a few minutes, it sounded a lot better. This group is really great with taking instruction and implementing it right away. Like in general, that's one of the things I love about teaching adults, is usually people are able to understand and focus a lot faster than, let's say, high school teenagers. So I think it's always a good idea to go back to basics, no matter how long you've been playing. A lot of times I'll just play like an easy drumline exercise that I've played a billion times, but if you really focus on it, it can kind of become like a meditation. Depending on how good your focus is or how good your ear is, you can really start hearing nuances in timing, in tone. So yeah, going back to the basics, I think, is always a great idea. But I know some people definitely think that if you go back to the basics, that means that you have regressed or something like that. I don't think that's the case. It's good to practice things that are hard or things that are expanding your rhythmic vocabulary, but basics are never a bad idea. Well, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will see you somewhat soon. Bye. See you next time.